Hey, this is James Glass, and I wanted to talk a little bit about heat cable and how to install it and how not to burn your house down or install it wrong and just not get any benefit from the heat cable. So, first of all, heat cable is not quite the same as heat tape. Heat tape is something that requires an external thermostatic control to switch the heating element on and off. There's also two types of heat cable, one essentially with a built-in thermostat and one without. Today we're talking about heat cable with the built-in thermostat, and I'm going to show you a few pointers. The very first thing you can do that no one apparently ever does based on the videos that I watched on YouTube is just read the directions. It talks about cable placement. It talks about minimum and maximum overlap. It talks about, and like there's these awesome pictures like with big red circles with lines through it. Like, don't spiral the cable. Don't like let the remainder of the cable just droop-de-droop in a flaccid manner. So I watched one guy's video and he put, and it specifically says not to install on drain lines, and I'm going to do a little more research on that. I'm not quite sure why they don't want this used on PVC drain lines. It is allowed. This stuff is good for CPVC, PEX, water supply line, copper, galvanized. So I'm not sure why PVC is exempted, but I'm going to dig into that more. But basically, yeah, I watched this guy wrap it around his drain and cross it over and do all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just a fire waiting to happen. So I watched an interesting article about like some trailer that burned up because this was lying on the ground and it was all wrapped wrong. And then I watched the firefighters wrap the thing wrong around the tape. I mean, it very specifically says, do not spiral it around. So, anyway, here's the pointers. Read the book first. And here's basically what the book says. I've got two 30-foot lines here. This is a temporary water line for my temporary, and this is my temporary water heater. And this is the portion of my tiny home that is up front. It's got two bedrooms and a bathroom, and I'm not going to get to this probably until spring. I'm working on the master bedroom, master bathroom, kitchen, and living room, and I'm going to get that all done before I come in here and frame everything up. So I basically have a kitchen and a master bath, and I've got plumbing exposed underneath the trailer, and I've got plumbing exposed in this unheated section of the trailer where I've done all the demo and I'm kind of using it for storage. So I got pipe that could, I want water and I don't want to have to go out to the curb every day and turn it on and off and blah, 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 blah. So I got some heat cable. So the end of the other heat cable comes to here, and you'll notice that it's wrapped, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. The first thing to note is this heat cable will do 3/8 to 1.5 inch pipe, which is pretty standard. And you can have a maximum 6-inch gap between the start of one heat cable and another, and you can have a maximum, because you'll get some transference just in the pipe, so you can have a 6-inch section that doesn't have cable on it. And you can do a 3-foot maximum overlap. So if you have cable on one side of the pipe and you got a little extra cable, you can come back up to 36 inches, 180 degrees, and put the pipe. But that's it, no more than that. And you have to tape the cable every 6 inches. And you don't have to wrap it all around the valves. Just wrap it here and insulate everything. And basically, you've got to get the sensor, and I've got it down here. You got to get the sensor against the pipe. It turns on at 38 degrees. That's what I have here. And on the underside of this, there's a little tab that touches, and you've got to secure it very well. And again, every 6 inches. And this particular cable will do up to 1.5 inch pipe. So I have got, and it has to stay in constant contact with the pipe because it's not heat exchange, it's heat transfer. This cable heats up and transfers the heat directly into the pipe. And I've got these two pipes touching, and I'm going to wrap them together. And so when I wrap them in insulation, that'll stay warm. And so that's super awesome. And so once you get it secured, you got the sensor on, you've secured it with good quality electrical tape every 6 inches. You come back with this foil-based insulation. This particular manufacturer specified 1/2 inch. Some specify 1 inch, but you wrap this with about a 1/3 overlap. and then it just wraps all the way around the pipe, and then you wrap that in duct tape or a fiberglass, depending upon how much you need. We don't get that cold here. You know, we'll get down in the 20s every now and then, the teens. They also make a fiber clear vapor, a water type barrier for this. For my application, considering I only need it to last 4 months, and our temperatures here in Southwest Virginia, this and duct tape will do me just fine. This has to be on a GFCI circuit, which it is. I got a GFCI over there that I'm running this off of. And the cable that's under the single wide is also running off of a GFCI. Because if it does come in contact with water, you want the GFCI to trip. And those are the deals. You got to do that. You've got to make sure that you run it in a straight line. Secure it every 6 inches. Hook it up to a GFCI circuit. Make sure your sensor touches the pipe. Make sure that you wrap it really well with the approved fiberglass foil tape and cover that in some kind of water barrier. In this case, I'm using duct tape. That's how you install heat cable. And if you're spiraling it or not, if you're just kind of not securing it properly so that you don't maintain constant contact, yeah, it's not going to work very well. And worse yet, it's going to be dangerous. One final note. Whenever possible, according to directions in the research that I did, it's nice to run this on the bottom, if possible, or at the side. If it's not on the bottom, if it's toward a wall that happens to be cold, run the cable on the coldest side. You can also see that some manufacturers recommend running this in either this happens to be in the 6 o'clock position, but they talk about running it in the 4 or 8 o'clock position. And the idea is the heat goes up, or you've got the heat closest to whatever's the coldest wall. So for my application, not terribly concerned about that. I'm only dealing with temperatures a few degrees below freezing here. And so I just want it to be installed safely. And in the spring, I'll pull all this out, sell the heat cable, because by next winter I'll have all this done and everything will be properly. The building envelope will be closed in, everything will be heated, and everything underneath the water line will be buried, so I won't have to deal with this. This is just the end stage of this winter. So there you go. Don't kill yourself. Install your heat tape or cable right. Know that there's 3 products out there: heat tape, heat cable with built-in thermostat, heat cable without. And most importantly, just follow the instructions, and you should have water flowing through your pipes and not burn your place down. Hey, thanks for watching.